Today, I'm going to talk to you about this. It's the ROCKBROS Rear Pannier Rack system. Is this the ultimate budget option, or is it just a waste of money? Let's do this. So let's give you the rundown of this system. It can carry up to 75 kilograms worth of weight. It comes with a quick release system with attachments here and here. It's a durable build advertising aircraft grade aluminium or aluminum, depending on where you're from. This can carry up to 75 kilograms of weight. It can accommodate anywhere between a 24 and a 29-inch wheel. It has a ton of customization. It can be extended in this direction and this direction, meaning it's going to fit most bikes. And probably the reason you're looking at it is because it has these quick release clamps here and down here, meaning you can fit it onto a bike that doesn't have pannier attachment points, making this a really universal option. So it all sounds really good. Well, I'm just going to say out of the box, I did have concerns. So let's just start off with concern number one. And it was these here, the nuts. When I tipped this out of the bag straight away, I noticed it comes in lots of different parts. And more parts mean more potential failure points. And especially when something's bolted together like this, it means these bolts can work themselves loose over time, which was a huge concern. Okay, so yeah, here we go. I'll just show you what I mean. I was concerned these were going to work themselves loose. However, this pannier rack has a nice little neat trick. I'll just get my chubby fingers in here. Now these nuts aren't normal nuts. Sorry, the child in me. So in here, if I can get a little shot there we go, there it is. Yeah, in there you will see that is a washer. And that washer prevents this nut from shaking loose. It almost acts like built-in Loctite, meaning that all the vibration in the world is not going to make these bolts come loose. And believe me, I have tested that. I have taken this thing on the Mary Townley Loop off-road where it was shaken to pieces for 47 miles continuously. I've had it on the Scottish Highlands where it's been fully loaded with a tent, all my equipment. It's been over mountains, and these nuts are as tight as the day I put them on. So I have now absolutely no concerns about this thing shaking itself loose. So I would say most certainly that is a solid pass. So once you put this thing together, it will stay together, no problem. So that is a very nice quality component, which could really be missing on something of this, this price point. So thumbs up, ROCKBROS. Now mine came with this, a little built-in fender, which is kind of nice. It does actually prevent the mud. It's probably a little bit flimsy looking, but for me it was pretty much no extra cost, so not bad. So the next thing to mention is the clamps. Now the clamps are great, they work really well. I would say that's where most of the weight is in the actual material of this pannier rack. Just the clamps themselves, this particular one just rubbed on the inside of my leg whilst I was cycling. When it's in the actual position it's meant to be. And that can be solved very easily just by pushing the thing down, just down ever so slightly and out of the way. And then that just solved that problem. I mean, if I really wanted to niggle, if I really wanted to kind of like if I really wanted to nitpick, this thing is designed to be taken off and on very easily, and it is extremely easy to remove this thing. However, the rubber guards that protect the paintwork aren't built into this. So once you take it off, the rubber guards are loose, and that can mean they're prone to being lost. Now, is that a little bit unfair? Yeah, it's probably a little bit unfair, but I think it would be nice if they were kind of built into the actual frame itself, somehow stuck to it. So once I took this thing off, I could just throw it somewhere and not have to think about it. But that's just a minor qualm. To be honest, I'm never going to take mine off. I think it's just going to live on the bike now. Next potential problem, and I think this is a potential safety concern. So something for you to be aware of. And I'm just going to bring the rack back up here. Okay, you'll see when looking at the pannier frame itself, the frame, it's a very short frame. It's not really covering a lot of the wheel compared to other designs. In fact, It's barely covering any of the wheel at all. So if you have a larger pannier bag that let's say it hangs down to about, here, then that thing is free to kind of whack into the wheel. Now this particular bar down here does offer some protection, but I have seen instances online where people's pannier bags have racked or bounced while they're cycling and ended up getting stuck in the back wheel. Now, for most people these days, we're all running very small, little compact pannier bags, but if you are running the older fashioned bigger bags, you'd have to be very mindful about how you actually apply the pannier bag. What I personally would do is just make sure it's secured against these here, and maybe just kind of reposition these slightly, these two legs, just to make sure I'm getting as much protection as possible. But I would say this is probably not the most ideal rack for larger pannier bags, which is kind of a bit crazy when you think about this thing being able to accommodate 75 kilograms. And that's the next thing as well. We don't know for a fact this can accommodate 75 kilograms. It's only been tested for 25. Engineering wise, through calculation, maths and things that the eggheads have put together in the ROCKBROS science lab, they say this can accommodate 75 kilograms on paper. But in reality, it has never been tested to that. So that's just something to perhaps consider. When I was doing my research on this, some people did complain about this being complicated to put together. My personal experience was this thing was fairly straightforward. I mean, you've got 3 bolts on this side, 3 bolts on that side, 2 telescopic legs and a telescopic arm there. The thing goes on really easily. I mean, I didn't need instructions. I'll be honest here as well. Some people have said instructions don't come in the packaging. I don't read instructions, so I just went ahead and threw this thing straight on without reading any instructions. So I can't remember if there were any instructions with mine. But if you are really concerned, there are plenty of tutorials online you can refer to. But it's so simple. 1, 2, 3 bolts here, 1, 2, 3 bolts there, 2 telescopic arms, telescopic arm there. Job's a good one. So easy to put on. I mean, it really is very intuitive. In terms of durability, I have had this out in the elements, and this was actually on the Isle of Skye with me, where it was sat outside next to the sea, which is one of the worst places you can leave a bike. And these bolts are all stainless steel. They did show some signs of superficial rust, but nothing really that I would worry about. So I would say durability wise, I'm more than happy with this. It has a nice powder coating on it, but most of the parts are aluminium or aluminum, so it shouldn't really rust anyway. So overall, I'm very happy with this. I think this will last me for a very long time. I think my final thoughts, my final conclusion would be, is this thing okay for day-to-day commuting? Absolutely. Is this okay for light bike packing? Absolutely. And would I take it on a world tour with me? I don't know. Maybe if I was being super picky and I was going on a world tour, I'd probably want something that had less points of failure on it. Although so far, these haven't really caused me any issues. But that's just me really nitpicking there. As a budget option, as something that is extremely universal, you can't really go wrong with this. So super happy with it. This is going to be on the bike for a long time to come. And if eventually I do get rid of this bike and get a new one, I can be very confident this is just going to come straight off this bike and go on to the next one. It's just that versatile. And there we have it, my in-depth, honest review of the ROCKBROS Rear Pannier Rack system. So did you enjoy the video? If you did, please give it a like, even consider subscribing. All that really helps my channel out. And also, let me know what you think. Have you bought this rack? Do you own this rack? If you're about to get it, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. All right, well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, thanks, bye.